Hello, thank you for your interest in this presentation. This is CAC Emergency Relief and Assistance for Students. This is specifically related to COVID-19 financial grants that we have available for students. This applies to spring and summer 2020. A little bit of an overview. CAC students and students across the nation have been affected by COVID-19 educational disruptions. Federal CARES Act money has been provided to institutions to distribute to students. This is specifically the higher education relief aid portion of the CARES Act. CARES money does not factor into gross income or future financial aid status. I know a lot of students are interested to see if this is taxable income. This money does not factor into um, those taxable income restrictions. Enrollment at the time of the March disruption and transition is critical to receive certain funding that we will discuss. CEC has awarded technology expense grants to qualifying students already. So many of you may have seen this hit your student account or already be dispersed to you. Additional money is available to students via an application process, and we will discuss that. Also, refund and disbursement preferences must have been updated in Bank Mobile for you to receive your monies. Funds are available until exhausted. What is emergency relief? COVID-19 disrupted many lives and businesses, including colleges and universities, and that does include CAC. This caused us to close campuses and convert our face-to-face courses to virtual and online instruction formats, as well as convert our student services and other business operations to virtual and online and telephone services. Federal legislation was passed to provide certain economic stimulus packages to American citizens. I know we're all familiar with that, but a portion of that CARES Act legislation was the Higher Education Relief Fund and emergency grant provisions, which is allowing institutions like CAC to provide students with emergency aid. Who is eligible? The federal government decided the criteria, and it includes U.S. citizenship or eligible non-citizen status, a valid Social Security number, registration with Selective Service if you are male, and a high school diploma or GED. The important thing to note here is students essentially must be able to apply for the FAFSA. And students who are able to apply for FAFSA are automatically eligible. This does not mean that you have to receive financial aid to be eligible for these funds. You just have to meet the criteria above, which makes you eligible to apply for FAFSA. Some more criteria. Students must have been enrolled at the time of disruption. So when CAC decided to convert to online and virtual instruction and close our physical doors, you must have been enrolled at that time. And you also must have remained enrolled through the entirety of the spring semester. It's important to note that at this time, we are only able to award spring 2020 students who were enrolled at the time of transition. We are not currently awarding students who have only applied for summer or the fall of 2020. Students must have also been enrolled in at least 3 credit hours and not in fully online programs and courses. The restriction for fully online programs is another set by the federal government. That is not a decision made by CAC. So we do have other avenues that those students who are affected by COVID-19 might take if they so choose. Students can use these funds towards any recognized expense that is necessary for educational success. This too is established by the government. That does include expenses such as housing, food, healthcare, childcare, transportation. All of those are eligible expenses that is recognized by the federal government that assists students in educational success. So any funds you receive are able to be used towards those expenses. What is the process to get the money? Well, first off, we need to ensure that all students have their bank mobile information current. Um, so you'll need to update this information or make sure it's updated and accurate to receive your funding, whether it be a paper check or most students receive their funds electronically. Or Bank Mobile also offers a debit card option for students. CAC again decided to automatically award a $350 technology expense grant. While we're calling this a technology expense grant, it can be used for whatever expenses you desire. That has been awarded to all eligible students automatically. Many students have already started to receive this money. And if you have not, you will definitely receive it very soon if you are an eligible student. All eligible students can also apply for more funding. And the info is available at centralaz.edu/cares. You need to read very carefully. This link is embedded into that text language that is on that webpage. If you have already received the first automatic $350 award, you will receive the additional money if you apply. So that is very important to understand. If you see that you have received the first technology expense grant and you apply for this secondary and additional funding, you will receive it. Money will be available until exhausted, but there is plenty available. And students can expect the award to be at least $350. So if you go to the centralaz.edu/cares webpage, this is what you will find most likely, unless we update it. But you need to pay attention to the highlighted fields because number 2 in the highlighted section is where you will find that link to apply for the additional CARES funding. So it says there in number 2, in addition to the grant above, students experiencing extreme financial hardship can apply to receive additional funds using this application. Application has a link to the actual form that you will need to complete. And again, if you have already received the first technology grant, you will receive the second. You just have to apply for the money. The form page will look like this once you click that link, and it will take you through some fields. You must fill out your full name, your ID number, and give us just a little bit of information, and you must certify that you are eligible to receive this funding. So a question we get a lot is, do I have to pay this money back? Actually, CARES money is not is actually considered federal disaster and emergency relief aid. That is the technical allowance for this money, which means it is not factored into your gross income. So it's not taxable. It will not affect your future financial aid status or your FAFSA eligibility. So essentially, it will not count against you. You may use the money for a variety of those expenses related to your education that we already mentioned. So housing, food, transportation, childcare, healthcare, etc. What if you don't qualify? If you need assistance but you do not qualify for CARES money, you may seek to apply for the Student Emergency Fund. This is a very limited fund source. It is first come, first served. It is funded by private fundraised dollars through our foundation. That link is also listed on the centralaz.edu CARES webpage. And again, you must read very carefully to ensure that you're clicking on the proper link and filling out the correct form. The process will result in a paper check being mailed to you. So if money is available and you are approved, you should expect to hear back from us within about 2 weeks after you have applied. There is a backlog currently because we have received many applications and we have to verify those people are eligible to receive this this additional funding through the private source. How will I know if I am awarded? Students will first see the technology grant on their student account first. Then it will be issued as a stipend. So again, this applies to our eligible students. You will see it on your student account ledger. It will show as CAC CARES or CARES Act or CARES Technology Fund. And then you will also see it issued as a stipend a few days later. It's important to note that this money will not and cannot automatically pay for any CAC balance that you have. These funds are simply being passed through your account and not applied. That's very important to understand. We've had a lot of students asking the question, well, it posted to my account. I don't want it to pay for my balance, or can it just stay on my account and I not receive the money? We have to issue this money directly to you. So though it will hit your account, it will be distributed as a stipend a few days after you first see it posted. If you do elect to use your relief aid to pay for your balances for either the summer, fall, or a past spring balance, this has to be done by you. So after you have received your disbursement, that is a time you yourself can elect to pay for a balance. If you are applying for more aid, the Dean of Students office, which is my office, will notify you when and if the approval has been sent to student accounts. There is a verification process that must occur first. So at the point that we send the approved applications and requests to student accounts for processing, that is when you will hear back from our office stating that your money has been began processing, or your request has begun processing for you to be issued the eligible monies. This is what that might look like on your end or on your student ledger. You may see there in the red boxes, it may show up as federal CARES, and then there will be a stipend issued a few days after that, and that is when the money is released to Bank Mobile, and you might expect that money to be mailed out to you or hit your bank account based on what method you have selected. Some more information. From the point of hitting your student account to disbursement, there is about a 1 to 2 week waiting period, so please expect that. Please note that we are not able to expedite the process any more than we have already. There are about 3,000 eligible students to receive the CARES money, and only a handful of staff who can process those. It does take time, so we ask that you please be patient. The emergency relief aid and assistance has no effect on summer or fall registration balances. Again, if you have a balance on your account, you are responsible for that balance yourself. And so please do not expect the CARES money to cover those balances that you have. Again, that money will be distributed to you as a stipend once the process is complete. So summary, we have awarded CARES money to students. We're currently doing that. All eligible students will receive the technology expense grant of $350. Eligible students can also apply for the additional money, which will be awarded until funds are gone. We are right in the process of awarding the additional funds at this moment as well. We have received many applications, but there are still some more left to distribute. You will notice the funds hit your account, and then they will show as a stipend within 1 to 2 weeks, and that is when you should expect to receive your money. And again, you must have updated your Bank Mobile information or made sure that it is accurate. Ineligible students who do not qualify for the CARES money, there's additional assistance available through a limited fund source. There is an application for that. Please consult our centralaz.edu/cares webpage for information on how to receive those funds. So again, contacting us if you do have any questions about the emergency relief or assistance. There is information on that webpage. www.centralaz.edu/cares. If you feel you should qualify but have not received the initial technology grant, you should email Dean of Students at centralaz.edu. I will ask that you explain how you meet all the criteria. Again, that criteria is listed on that webpage. We will investigate and get back with you. So, thank you and stay safe to everybody. We know that this disruption has sort of been a little taxing for all of us. Our offices are closed, but we are still working to provide you with the best quality educational experience we possibly can. Remember also that summer and fall registration is underway. Summer is going to be a virtual online format again, but we do hope to offer our face-to-face courses again in the fall. So please note that we miss you, and we will see you again soon. Thank you.